So I spent 20 years deep in the hospital trenches as a night shift respiratory therapist. Yes, I was one of the people that they called at 2 a.m. when things went sideways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But before that, I was a home health aide. So caregiving is kind of in my blood. But my real health journey started long before the scrubs, back when I was a single mom trying to juggle exhaustion and bills and two hungry boys who thought I had magical powers and unlimited food.
Welcome back to another episode of the Health Triad by Natalia podcast. I'm truly grateful you are tuning in today. This is a space where we talk about real life wellness through food, fitness, and faith. So you can feel more empowered, energized, and aligned in your everyday life. And let's welcome our guest today, Coach Tania. She'll talk to us about stress and food. Hey, Tanya, so happy to have you here today with us. How are you?
I'm great, Natalia. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm good. And of course, yes, absolutely. You're my precious guest for my baby podcast. I'm so happy you're here. And, to start our podcast today with you, can you tell us a bit, about yourself and actually about how you started your health journey?
Oh my goodness. These days, I'm a certified functional nutrition coach. That's a mouthful. I help exhausted, busy women get their energy, sleep, and sanity back by using food. But truthfully, my journey into this world was not a straight line. So I spent 20 years deep in the hospital trenches as a night shift respiratory therapist. Yes, I was one of the people that they called at 2 a.m. when things went sideways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But before that, I was a home health aide. So caregiving is kind of in my blood. But my real health journey started long before the scrubs, back when I was a single mom trying to juggle exhaustion and bills and two hungry boys who thought I had magical powers and unlimited food.
That's a good one.
Right? Oh my gosh. But the it came when I lost my mom to complications from diabetes. That just broke my heart and lit a fire inside of me because I didn't know then what I know now, that gut health and blood sugar balance and nutrition, they're not just wellness buzzwords, and if you will, they can actually be the difference between surviving and thriving.
Oh,
And I watched my
yeah.
grandparents battle everything from heart disease to Alzheimer's to digestive issues. And I knew I couldn't stay silent. So, yeah, well, here I am. Here.
Well, you definitely have a strong why to your journey of health. I usually like to say, when you want to change your life, choose your why and go for it. So your why is very strong.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say. So yeah,
Yeah.
I left traditional healthcare back in 2023 and jumped into coaching full time. And now I work to help overwhelmed women get back to themselves, and feel like normal again.
Yeah. And I know you're covering quite a bit of areas. And I would like to talk to you today mostly with the focus on stress. I feel like stress is quite a bit of the pull for all of us. And I know that stress has also something to do with sleep and how we feel. So, would you mind telling a little bit about how stress can mess up with our sleep?
Oh, absolutely. Stress is sneaky. It's like an internal alarm clock that just won't shut off. And when we're stressed out, our body pumps out more cortisol. And cortisol is our stay alert hormone. If your cortisol is high at bedtime because you're stressed out, your brain is basically giving a memo to the body saying, "Nope, not time to relax yet. We have to keep going." So basically, even if you're exhausted, your body stays wired. So you're
Mm.
wired and tired, if that makes sense. And
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, um combination that people that have sleep issues know all too well. If you can't sleep, that, oh my gosh, the hamster up on the wheel is just running and my body is saying, please sleep. It's
Oh,
exhausting.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The feeling when you're like super tired, you just want to sleep and you go to sleep and you cannot sleep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But over time, this throws off your natural sleep rhythms and it makes it so hard to fall asleep, stay asleep, or get good, deep, restorative sleep?
And you mentioned that you also love nutrition and you focus on nutrition. So, do you think any foods that you can bring up as example that can help us sleep better?
Oh, there are some amazing sleep-friendly foods out there. First thing, tart cherries. If you can eat cherries. I found a package of they're like raisins. They're sun-dried cherries, and oh man, those are so delicious. Those naturally boost melatonin. Foods that are rich in magnesium, like almonds and leafy greens, like
Palm seeds. Sounds like
yes.
magnesium.
Yes, raw pumpkin seeds was gonna be the next thing I mentioned. Absolutely, they're delicious and so good for you. Organic oats, sweet potatoes, those can help gently boost your serotonin levels.
Mm.
Serotonin works to calm the brain. Herbal teas, like lemon balm and chamomile and rooibos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ruibos, I think is how they pronounce it. But those teas actually are great for calming. Um, they calm the nervous system and they signal your body that it's time for rest. So,
Mm.
you know, if you're feeding your body the building blocks it needs to make those sleep hormones naturally, that's the key right there. You don't need sleeping pills. You need better nutrition.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, at least it's a good place to start with. You mentioned the herbal tea, and I was going to ask you, have you heard about valeriana root?
Oh yeah, valerian roots.
Okay, that's how you're going to say it. We
Yeah.
back in Ukraine, we use it quite a bit as the also like a natural remedy to calm you down, and it's pretty good with the sleep as well.
Oh, okay. Yes. I've heard of it. I haven't used it. I'm more of a lemon balm girl when it
Mm-hmm,
comes
mm-hmm,
to calming down. That's like my go-to is the lemon balm tea. Uh,
mm-hmm.
but yes,
I love herbal teas. So just drop the names on me. I'll be trying them all.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And for the food, would you recommend what you've mentioned? Would you recommend to add like for dinner, for example, sweet potato, maybe some pumpkin seeds? Because we probably don't want to be confusing for the listeners that we don't want people to eat sweet potato right before they go to sleep, right? It should be some sort of time between for body to adjust for that food.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, it's all about food timing, okay? So, if you're going to eat a big meal that would consist of having a sweet potato in it, you would wanna give your body at least 2, if not 4 hours to digest your last big meal. And,
Mhm.
it's like it comes bedtime and you're just like your stomach is growling, you're so hungry. Take a handful of raw pumpkin seeds or a handful of lightly salted edamame with, and eat those. I It's such a great filler, quick filler. It's got the protein, and it actually helps your body create the sleepy hormones that you need. So, those with some water, to me, when I'm, like, ravenous, I'll have a handful of raw, pumpkin seeds, a handful of edamame, and I'm good to go. It just fills the hole, so that I don't have to listen to my stomach growling.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And on the other side, is there anything that you say we should avoid eating before bed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, you want to give your body 2 to 4 hours to digest a heavy meal, but anything heavy, spicy, sugary, or especially high in caffeine, that can just completely sabotage your sleep. A lot of people don't realize that even things like dark chocolate can sneak caffeine in at late at night. Um, but heavy meals make your digestive system work overtime when it's supposed to be winding down. And that'll lead to a restless night. So I usually, like I said, 2 to 4 hours, I usually recommend stopping your heavy meals. But having something light if you're super hungry, even unsalted raw nuts, almonds are good if you don't happen to have any edamame or raw pumpkin seeds,
Hmm.
raw almonds, raw walnuts if you can. That's a good source of healthy fats as well.
And for those who trying to figure out what causes their sleep issues, can we actually tell if stress or bad eating is making our sleep worse?
Yes, actually, the best way for you to figure out if it's the stress is to look at your patterns. If you find yourself tossing and turning after a stressful day or a night of junk food and alcohol or drinking cola beverages, that might be blood sugar swings from what you ate earlier, or if, like, you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that's another classic sign because that's often when blood sugar crashes or cortisol spikes. And if your sleep is inconsistent and you're feeling like a wired but tired disaster, stress and nutrition are usually major players. So if you track your sleep and judge how you feel after certain meals for even just a few days, that can tell you a lot.
That's sneaky. What one habit you think, or maybe you can tell that people do at night that hurts them and hurts their sleep, but they even don't realize that that's what they do?
Oh my goodness. Scrolling on your phone, watching TV. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. That really can mess with your brain because the blue light from the TV or your cell phone, it can actually trigger your brain into thinking it's still daytime, you know?
Yeah,
That delays melatonin production, and, melatonin is your sleepy hormone, you know? So, like, even just 10 minutes of nighttime scrolling can push your sleep schedule back without you even realizing it.
hmm,
And
yeah, mhm.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say the late night TV commercials, you know, they're also targeting people who are the night owls because when you can't sleep, that messes with your hunger hormones.
Yeah,
Ghrelin is your I'm hungry hormone, and leptin is your stop, I'm full hormone. And so when you're up late at night, your body doesn't know whether it's coming or going. And those TV commercials, they're not exactly selling salad and broccoli. They're
you're right.
the companies of these industries, they actually hire teams of scientists to study the brains of the night owl who have trouble sleeping. And they know that the tired brain craves the junk food. So all the
Mm.
fast food commercials at 2 a.m. are going to show the big giant bacon cheeseburger up close, just
Mhm.
to tempt you. It's terrible.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And
Mhm.
stress, this is probably something that we all experience or even experience right now. And it's not that easy just to, I mean, it's easy to say just, decrease your stress, don't stress, just let it go. Well, it's not that easy. We all know it's not something that we can control that easy, or at least not in the right beginning. Probably, you can figure out with time if you really put into it. But if someone is really super stressed, what would be the first thing they should try so they can sleep better?
Well, I mean, even like 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing or gentle stretching, or what I like to do is have my clients keep a sleep journal. So they'll write down, you know, what what's going on in their life that's going to cause them to worry all night. Um, like stupid things like, hey, um, what do we need to buy for the grocery list, for Christmas? What do we need to put on the shopping list for Christmas? What do we, what color should we paint the garage? Stupid thing that pop into your mind. I mean, write them down, write these things out. Even if you're awake at 11 p.m. and these things are just rolling in your head, get out your notebook, write it down. And now the act of writing it down, closing the page on it, put that notebook in a drawer, that
Mm.
the worry away for the night. It's kind of like a little mind game that you play, when you feel stressed out enough, and that gives your body the chance, that your excuse me, your mind the chance to say, okay, that's out. Now we can rest,
Mm.
One
That's a
of
good
those
one.
little things.
Yeah, that's a good one. And when you do help your clients to get their sleep better, do you start actually with food, stress, or bedtime regime? I mean, all of those are important, but do you prioritize anything first?
Well, I mean, it depends.
Mhm.
Everyone I work with is starting from a slightly different place. So I always try to figure out the easiest win for them. What would give them the first win, the first feeling of, oh my gosh, I battled this. I can move on and battle something else. I could make this a little bit better. Say if their nutrition is a mess, we try to clean that up first. Cause, trying to manage stress or stick to a bedtime routine when your blood sugar's crashing or your body's running on fumes is an uphill battle. So,
Mhm.
if your stress is sky high, we might start there instead using simple calming tools, meditation, even, cutting out certain things in the diet that if they're eating, say, a lot of processed foods, try and get that out. And then sometimes just making one small change starts this amazing domino effect, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that's nice. So, Tanya, when somebody wants to know a little bit more about what you do and how you help, how can you be found?
Well, I have a Facebook page. I'm at Sleep Nutrition with Coach Tanya. I don't have a website yet, but Facebook, Instagram. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And a little bit sneak peek. So we talk about the stress today. What else are you so passionate about that you help your clients and to overcome?
Well, I also help women who have issues with their digestion or their weight loss that just won't won't, happen. They have trouble with their metabolic issues, you know. So we help people who are battling all that in addition to the sleep. So, and sometimes people,
That is-
don't know where they should begin, so
yeah.
we'll sleep quality consult or discovery call, if you will, and let people tell me what's
Mhm.
on with them, and we can figure out which program might suit them best to start with, where the major issue at the moment really nagging at them.
And that is great because I feel like you might appear on my podcast at some point again to talk a little bit more about the other areas you work in and helping people. So, it was a little bit of hint and sneak peek.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I'll dive into
Yeah.
those
Uh,
topics.
of course. Yes. Well, Tanya, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to remind you that this podcast is for information purposes only. It is not medical or professional advice. So please talk to your doctor before making any changes to your health, nutrition, or fitness routine.